Boa noite a todos. Vamos iniciar.
Good afternoon to you all. We'll have the press conference with Sporting, please.
Boa noite, Ruben.
Good afternoon.
Estamos
Miguel Custódio. We are on Sport TV Live. They are perfect nights for Sporting fans, for the team, for you.
Era esta noite.
Was this the night, a farewell night that you were thinking of, that you might have thought of, if you ever thought about a farewell? What does it mean for Sporting, a win of this dimension for one of the best teams in the world? How do you place Sporting in this context?
Foi onde coloca o Sporting no play.
Well, you mean in the playoff? The first thing is this puts Sporting in the playoff. Of course, we won the match.
Vantagem.
Had the 3-goal advantage. We began by losing the name, but I think it was written on the wall that this had to be like this. During the first half, we couldn't control the ball. They pushed us into our half of the pitch. The first half was very difficult, but then we were able to draw just before the half time. Then we changed a few things, but the change had nothing to do with what we did during the break. The first time we had the ball, we scored this, then we had a penalty. So I think everybody here, those of you who were here and who saw Sporting over the past 4 years, deserved a night like this one. It was a very special night, but we shouldn't stop here. We shouldn't just look at this victory as something that was one of. Of course, we know that it's special because of the circumstances, but we have to think about the next match against Braga. Joãozinho for FTP. The way you entered the second half of the game was demolishing. Did you adapt your tactics? Did you talk to the players during the break?
Não sei se jornais ingleses, mas está à espera.
I don't know, have you already read the newspapers in England, but maybe they will be talking about the new Alex Ferguson. Well, there I was playing with words when I said that I'm not going to read anything for 6 months. The only way to work well is to work and focus on the team, because I know what newspapers say. As I said, we didn't adapt our tactics significantly. We had two opportunities to score. Then we closed the middle of the pitch, and they had to change their risk. But the two first moments when we had the ball in the second half, we scored. So that helped us. Then we had Manchester City missing their penalty. So everything went well for Sporting today. So we are happy. Ruben Luz from SIC. Last week in Manchester, people were asking how Ruben was, and I said that a coach leaves a team. People are when a coach leaves the team and people cry. That means anything. What did you feel today? And I've seen many coaches being celebrated by their players, but at the end of the season, not in the middle of the season. What did you think when you saw the stadium applauding you? Well, first and foremost, I thanked everybody for the victory. If we hadn't won the match, the moment wouldn't be so nice. But of course, with the victory over Manchester City, it was better. We had very significant moments here. 4 years ago, we lost 4-1 with Lask, and the way the players celebrated with me and they raised me in the air, I wasn't expecting anything else from them, because they know what I did for them and I know what they did for me. So I'm going to keep these memories forever. Today I cannot enjoy them fully, but I think it was a beautiful moment. But as I said, it was written on the wall that this was the way I should say farewell for Alvalade. The best moment in Alvalade was not today. The most important moment in Alvalade, when we lost 5-1 against Manchester City, and everybody applauded. So that was the most important moment for me. But today was a very important moment too, and I will keep this forever.
Hoje acredito que tenha sido dia com...
I believe that today you felt very emotional. This was a very special night, very emotional game. And when we broadcast live, and if we look at the social media, we see a coach leaving a team and people commenting and thanking you for what you did. Some people play with it and say that after
o contrato com o United,
after this team, people say that Amorim is going to abandon Manchester United. Of course, they're playing, but you said that you have a small fan of Sporting at home, and I would like to ask you.
Ferir com as crianças. Alguma vez
your little fan asked you to
isso e depois
ask you how you're managing the situation, and then
acho que os meus colegas também.
My colleagues probably share the same view. It is the last match in Alvalade, and because I'm not going to Braga, I would like to thank you for the respect you showed to journalists. I speak on my behalf, but I think my colleagues will share with me because you always respected journalists and you improved our work. Well, I'm happy to hear what you said. I think that you, the journalists, always treated me with respect and were fair with me. And I think it was a very good relationship, the one we had. It was, it worked both ways. You were respected, you were fair, you criticized me when you had to criticize me. And sometimes there is a lack of balance, but I think we had a balanced relationship.
São gostos. Também sou uma pessoa afável.
I usually tend to be nice when I talk to other people, so I think we had a very good relationship while I was here with Sporting. So it wasn't just from my side, but from your side as well.
Sporting.
Well, as you know, my little boy is a Sporting fan. He's going to be a Sporting fan. It will continue to be so. And when we come to Alvalade, we will pay the ticket and we'll watch the game. So.
Muito feliz
very happy with what he saw today. He's going to live a new adventure. It will be a good experience for him. And as regards the fans, what I tried to do for the fans also did for me. It was the best period of my life. I've said this before, so we will move on, and thank you to everybody. Well, I don't know if you have already shared a tear tonight, but I would like to ask you this. Fans say you were the best, one of the best coaches of Sporting. So you're leaving the team with this, and how difficult will it be for whoever picks up your role?
Obviamente que é sempre difícil.
Well, it's always difficult to replace a coach when the team is winning. It is far more difficult to replace a coach when the team is winning. But the coach who comes after me will have a good legacy because he has very good players and a very good technical team work with him. The environment, the ambience in the stadium is very good. I know that Sporting is in the playoff. Of course, this makes everything more demanding for Sporting, but there are many people who will be supporting the new coach. That was something that was very important for me as well. I never felt lonely when I was at Sporting with the president, etc., but especially with Vienna. He was very helpful. And I'm sure that the new coach will have people helping him. He will have a team that has been structured, that has won the championship last year, a lot of support from the stadium, and a very intelligent audience. The fans are going to give him time for sure to make his mark on the team. A question without a microphone. Well,
é uma das melhores fases do Sporting.
One of the best periods in the life of Sporting. But there are many. I was lucky to be here. We had the difficult moment, but then we entered a phase where everybody was pulling the cart into the same direction, and that helped me a lot. I belong to one of the best moments in the life of Sporting. Ruben Francisco Tavares from a Bola.
Para 2 anos e meio.
Looking at 2.5 years, Sporting lost with Manchester City here. It was a very heavy defeat. 2.5 years after that, looking at this team, your last game in Alvalade, looking at the development of Sporting over these 2.5 years, looking at the stadium after the match, and although you already said that you rarely feel sorry for decisions, don't you think that perhaps you could
fazer.
There was something that was left in doing in Sporting, and whether you already have indications about Manchester City when you faced Manchester City in England. Well, we are a Portuguese team. We had many difficulties.
4 anos
Over the 4 years, we
jogadores do primeiro plantel.
changed the team a lot. Maybe 2 or 3 players from the team who lost against Manchester City 5 years ago, 2.5 years ago, are here. So, and now we are able to wait for our opponent to make new transitions. When I train the next team, the approach will be different. So there isn't much that I can take from this Manchester City team. Of course, I could understand the dynamics of Manchester City a lot, but there isn't a lot that I can take from Manchester City here, because we will be playing differently. Maybe in the near future we won't be playing this way, because talking about 2 historic teams, the 2 Manchester teams, we'll have to approach the games differently. We grew over the last 2.5 years, but looking at the match, what we had today was lucky, and we were a bit unlucky last time. The 4 times that Manchester City had the ball, they scored them.
Conseguimos sim nem ter a bola.
Weren't able to have the ball.
No intervalo, e portanto eu diria que
we were able to draw the match just before the half-time. But I think that we are a better team today, but luck was also an important factor in this match. No microphone is being used, interpreter cannot interpret. Well, we have to make decisions, and I'm very aware of mine. I would feel bad if we had lost against Estrela, if we had lost today, and we'll see what happens in Braga. So winning, I'm even sure than I was before that the Sporting will take its road. I'm sure that taking my own road.
Jorge Reis para Luzon Notícias.
Notícias Jorge Reis. In looking at the game before the game, he said that the Sporting were going to prove that they didn't require Ruben Amorim. Was this something that the players showed during the team? They showed that they didn't need you, or more seriously, do you think that the team is mature enough not to need Ruben Amorim? Well, quite frankly, I think that I need the players more than they need me. They feel well. They are in the playoffs, so one of the objectives has been achieved. Want to leave our group. I want to leave the team by winning and by being on the first position in the Portuguese Championship. So they are happy and they will follow the team. Ricardo Gonçalves, 0-0. 4.5 years since you first played with Sporting here in Alvalade. 2-0 against Aves. The team was completely different. No players in common with tonight's team. Here in Alvalade and internally, what has changed in Sporting until this today? And from those changes, will those changes remain after you leave? After your departure, after the departure of Hugo Viana, and maybe after the departure of other players? Well, I said this before if people start to talk about my departure. The club has been structured. There is a model. There is an idea about the game. But of course, a club is human resources. We may have good machines, etc. So we have a good team. We have good human resources. We have that. Whoever comes to Sporting will be a very good coach. It will have the support of the president. It will have the support of the structure. The medical team, the performance team are there. So the team is prepared to take the next step forward. It has happened with many teams. So the team will continue without any major hiccups. It was a long road that we took together, and we used that road to create the structure, the basis for the team, not to depend on one person. From Record, Fernando Correia from Record, I would like to ask you, what do you take from Sporting to Manchester? And if Sporting is again champion in Portugal, can you promise the fan that you will come to Sporting to celebrate with them on the Marquis of Pombal Square? And I would like to ask you, is Inacio will play in Braga? Well, we are trying to improve his condition. It will not risk him. We'll see if he's ready for Braga. I can't tell you now if that will happen. As regards to the club, I will have always a special relationship with the club. I never thought about saying this, but I will always be a Sporting fan. Of course, I will not be coming to Marquês de Pombal Square. When I'm the coach, I go to the celebrations. I'm a bit forced to go to the celebrations. I don't like those celebrations very much. I will not be going to Marquês de Pombal Square, but if Sporting wins the Portuguese Championship, I will be happy for the new coach, for Viana, for all staff. I will be there in spirit, not in person, but of course I will be happy.
Obviously, this is a great night for Sporting, a great night for you. But you know that a lot of people in Manchester are looking at this game, and it'll be the source of arguments in Manchester now about City and not doing well and the United coach doing well. What do you say after a performance like that from your team to the supporters of the club who you will be managing in a week's time?
O que eu posso dizer é que
what I can tell you is that this doesn't mean anything in particular. Don't take anything from here. I said this before. We cannot transport one reality to another context. Manchester United cannot play the way we play. They cannot play so defensively, and we will have to adapt ourselves. Of course, it is very difficult to beat Manchester City, and you were just speaking about... I was listening to Mr. Pep Goli's conference, and you are asking me difficult questions this doesn't mean anything.
Vai ser mundo completamente.
When I arrive in Manchester, I will be living in a different world. It will be a different team. We will have to start from a certain point. The starting point will be very different. So I would say to Manchester people that we have the luck on our side. This was a one-off. And when I arrive in Manchester, I will assess the situation. The concept will be different.
The fans obviously love you here, and you've had a great time here. So this must be a dream way to say goodbye to them at their home and to head to Manchester United.
Sim,
definitely. It will be even better if we win the match in Braga next weekend. But I couldn't ask for anything better. I think it was a very important moment for all. The outcome of the match helped my farewell party. I think everybody deserved this moment in time. We were very happy, very lucky.
Passámos muitos momentos difíceis.
Had very difficult moments, and completing my work here has a special meaning. But I think everybody deserved this moment here.
In English.
Wow! Congratulations, Alex. Our agreement. I just wondered how you feel tonight. That send-off from your players, that send-off from, I know you've got another game, but tonight at home from the fans. And what message does that send to the Premier League, that performance?
Yeah, it's misleading. Like I was saying, we were very lucky today in the game. So, but the feeling with my players, the way they celebrate this win, the moment with the fans was very, very special. So I take this to Premier League. When I arrive there, it's a different world, a different pressure. I will try to be the same. So will be fun, very fun, and I'm ready for the challenge.
Thanks for your help this week and your understanding.
Yeah,
Obrigado.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado.